Hi guys and welcome. Today is Sunday, November 24th, and I just want to go ahead and do a card together with you using this bundle. I wanted to show you this from yesterday. So remember we cut out the Christmas, but then when you have this negative image, go ahead and mount it on a piece of scrap cardstock and you have another Christmas saying. All right, just a way to get more out of your cardstock because, you know, it's all about cardstock. All right, so let's go ahead, and this is a stamp set. Remember we showed it to you yesterday. It's in the mini catalog, the August to December mini catalog. It has 19 stamp sets and 8 dies. All right, let's put that over there. So I have a piece of Old Olive card. It's a card base. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of basic black that is cut at 3 and 7/8 by 5 1/8. I have a piece of Old Olive cardstock that is 3 3/4 by 5. I have the remaining. This is from. This is the end of your. Yeah, there's another piece somewhere. But here's half your cardstock. Here's this. So this is all from one piece of cardstock. And then you have a little piece left over that I think I have over here. So you can do this whole card from one sheet of cardstock. All right. We're going to use this for some punches. I'm going to show you what I do whenever I do my black layer or any sort of layer. I always do a punch out of that because you can always use punch outs. Plus, it will also allow for your card to be a little bit thinner if you're mailing it. All right. So let's go ahead. Let me grab the 2 punches that I usually use when I'm using my layers. All right, because this is going to be a layer, right? So I'll go in, and it's going to be a very thin layer. So I just want to make sure I'm not near the edges too much. And I'll punch out that circle. And then if I have enough room, and I do, because I want to stay away from those edges, I kind of make sure that my punch paper's outside of that punch and get it up as close as possible. So there I have 2 punches I can use, and this is going to be a layer anyway. So it's still going to fit on there perfectly, and you're never going to know, unless the person you give it to tears it apart, that you punch those out. And I put those in my little punch stacks that I have. All right, let me put this off to the side. Put those in my little containers later. All right. We're going to be using, this is from the Season of Green and Gold. It's an online exclusive. You see how it has a little bit of that shiny gold look to it? All right. So what we're going to do is, and I'm going to use my mini again. Let me grab the plates. Let me grab a shelf liner. Like putting this down just so the machine doesn't move, especially on the glass. Let me grab out my plates. For the mini, you'll need to use base 1 and then 2 2s. I'm sorry, 2 3s. No, it's a 2. That's right, they're 3s on the big machine. So 2 2s. All right, and remember that this is only, I think, 3 3/4 inches wide. Let's see, this is that layer, so yeah, so see, it's just, so to cut this down, I'm going to cut this 3 3/4 wide, just so we can get the most out of stamping that. I would not recommend you do this like I'm doing, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to cut it that way. All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna put down our plate, our cutting plate, and then we're going to, ooh, sorry, that was loud. We're going to be using this die. And we're going to cut out, I'm going to say, let's cut out 8 of those. No, I don't think I need 8. Let me think. I need probably, yeah, let's do 8. Just because it's a nice round number. I'm going to set that over there. Run that back through this way. And I could have pre-cut these, but I want to show you real time how long this card takes. And it doesn't have to take long. And if you're mass producing and you do a lot of this at the beginning, then you can just go zip down the line and have all of your cards made really quickly. Oh, goodness. Usually it doesn't move as much when I have the little mat down there. Oh, I may only be able to get, let me do this at the very end. I may only be, because I didn't go very close here, I may only be able to get 7 out of there. Let's see. Which I think will be enough. If not, we can always cut out a piece of vanilla cardstock for that 7th one if need be. Oh, and I got too close to the edge there. So when that happens, you just go ahead. This is going to fall right in where, here, I'm going to rip this off so I can go this way. I got too close to the edge. So when that happens, if you come back here and go to where that is, you're going to see that locks in because there's that cut part that's already there. Oh, now I just moved it. Make sure. Yep, no, it's still good. Just got it a little too close to the edge. Oh, now it's not gonna. We'll see if this one actually comes out. It should have stayed locked in, and it did. See? So if you're ever too close to the edge, don't worry. It's gonna work out still. Just lock that in there. Let's get this one. Get it more in the middle though, but try to keep it close to the edge of that DSP. Sorry, I have the sniffles this morning. Crazy weather here in Chicagoland. I think you guys have crazy weather all over the place. Yeah, and that's just, oh, that's just barely going to fit. See how that? Barely going to fit on that. So this one I think I might put tape down just because it's so close to that edge. And ta-da, look at that. Perfect. All right. Rip that off. So there I have my 6 or 7 cut from one little tiny piece of DSP. Now, do I want to keep that and punch out there? Maybe I could do a couple letters there. Usually I would not save that. All right, so here's my little punches. I'm also, from this big piece that was left over, I'm also going to, and see it's going to be too big, so I'm going to cut off a 1.5 inch strip just because I like using 1.5 inch strips for sentiments and for borders. So we're still on that one piece of cardstock to get all this done. And I am going to bring that out because I forgot I wanted to. Yeah, I wanted to cut a few more out of just the plain old olive. know how many old olives I'll need. Let's do 4 just to be safe. Sorry, I could, like I said, I could have prepped this all, but I want to show you that a good looking card doesn't take that long to make. And I like clean, simple, quick cards. So usually if it takes more than 20 minutes to make a card, unless it's a fancy fold, sometimes those fancy folds take longer. If it takes more than 20 minutes to make a card, it's usually not for me. I like, oh, see in there, I did that again. I got too close to the edge, so I'm just going to lock that back in. Let me take this part off first. All right, so we're going to go ahead, lock that in. That's locked in right there. Because you got to remember, the rollers are using a lot of pressure, and sometimes the rollers just get out of line a little bit. Or if you put it in a certain place, it might not be as tight. But see, we line that back up, and it's a perfect cut. All right, now I think we're done with this machine. So let me go ahead, put it on my work desk here. All right. Let's go ahead then and let's create this card. Now, I'm going to have a pretty busy background, so I'm not going to be using any like embossing folder or anything like that. I want this to stick to that layer, so I'm going right around that edge. I'm just putting a little glue in the middle because you have, it's going to seep through there. So I'm going to put this on this first to line it up. So that way any glue that might show up will go through to that card base I'm going to need glue on anyway. All right, it looks like I got it. Let me see if I can move this quick. There we go. I didn't like how it was a little bit deeper at the bottom than at the top. I want it to try to be somewhat even. There, that looks better. Don't know if you saw before, but, and that is a little thinner than this side, but we're still okay. And now I'm just going to go ahead and put this down on some of those black parts. And there we have this card ready to go. We're going to start putting on some pieces here. Now what I like to do is I am going to make sure all my little ribbon holes are through, but I don't know if we're going to even use those ribbon holes. What I am going to do is I want to stamp a greeting on this side. This is the back side of that. All right. So I want to stamp a greeting. I know we don't have our Stamparatus anymore for sale, but if you have yours still, this is a great way to do multiple edges, because I want to use this little greeting here. Is this the right one? I have to hold it up here so I can see. Yes. All right, so let's make sure that's down like that, because I might have to stamp it more than once since we're on an angle. So let's go ahead and pick it up. As long as, oh shoot. I want that to be with this line here. Let's see, I'm wondering, let's do that. I usually don't like using the magnet when I have a small stamping area because I think sometimes it interferes. Let me get out my little Amazon find. Got like a 6-pack of these for like, I don't know, what was it? $12. All right, so see how that's not, I think a lot of it's because I had that magnet there. So let's try that again. We'll just hope this time it's dark enough. We'll be able to see it. If not, we'll go to plan B. Yeah, we need to do it a little bit darker. So let's go to plan B, which is using a piece of my removable tape. And hopefully I haven't moved it. Removable tape doesn't want to come off. There we go. All right, now let's see. And if this isn't lined up, then we'll start again. But you really need like 3 or 4 inkings on this. That way it really shows up good. Yep, that's didn't move at all. Let's do one more. Looks pretty dark, but let's just do one more just to be safe. And there you are. Oh, excuse me. Felt that coming. All right. Let's go ahead. I'll remember to take that stamp off later. Otherwise, I'll be like, oh my God, where did it go to? Let's grab out our basic beige ribbon. This is just a bordered ribbon. So you can see it has just a little bit of stitching on it. I'll let me put my hand under there so it focuses better. All right, let me find my ribbon snips. Because I want that edge to look clean. And let's go ahead. I'm going to do a little bit of a length on that. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this through. Fold this through this end. Sorry, hope I wasn't off camera for that. Oh, my nose is running. Don't want to pause though and blow my nose because last time I did that, somehow I ended up stopping the video instead of just pausing it. So there we go. Monovision is not your friend when you're doing something like that. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I shouldn't have put that down yet. All right, not a big deal. I shouldn't have put that layer down yet. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off just a little bit here and we'll tuck it under there. Might have to put a glue dot underneath there. And we'll do the same over here. I was going to wrap it multiple times, but that's not going to work. Goodness, I think it's falling all over the place here. Let me go underneath here just a little bit, put a little glue in there. We'll hold that down. Oh, sorry for the sniffling, guys. And then we're just going to cut this off just a little bit. Again, I was going to have that underneath that layer, but I got so darn hasty with putting that down that didn't quite work. All right, so now let's go underneath there. Where's my little pokey tool? That didn't work as good as I wanted it to. Go wipe off that glue. It's just a little, and see, I pulled out one of those strings, so there's going to be a little bit of a run through there, but not that big of a deal. Let me get this back under here again. You could also use a glue dot. All right, if I had remembered, it wouldn't have been this long of a card. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm just going to leave it like that. You get the idea. Wrap it around before, and maybe I'll just cut that off. There you go. Not perfect, but it'll do. Hang on one second. I'm going to go step outside into my kitchen really quick and just blow my nose. Sorry about that, guys. Whew. Sinuses are a real thing. All right, so now let's get some of this mess off of there. Put my pokey tool back, put my scissors back. My ribbon back in the ribbon drawer. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to stamp a couple of these with our Peace and Joy. Now this, I'm just going to go ahead, and yes, I'm using another item we don't have anymore. This is that little A block, but if you have a B or C block, it's going to be just the same. All right, so I have to remember how I'm going to be, this is going to be like that. So let's go like that. Probably should have done this with Old Olive ink, but I think since we have that black layer, it's okay to have it like that. Let's do 3 like that. I'm just getting out those, even though we're not going to be using those ribbon holes, I'm just going to be getting those little chads out of there. Again, we'll be doing it just like that a little bit. And you know what? I'm going to have a hard time with this because guess what? I didn't, you know what? I might just have to take this whole layer up. Hang on. And since I use glue, it's going to really stick good. All right, I might have to get a new piece of Old Olive for the piece. Oh, that's the one good thing about glue, and the one bad thing about glue is when you have to pull it up, it really, really sticks. But that's good because you don't want your cards falling apart. All right, so this looks like a mess, but it's all underneath where you can't see it anyway. Get some of those extra pieces off because we're going to cover that up anyway. But let me just get some of those pieces up. Now we can go ahead and do our ribbon the way I wanted to. Let's cut another length. Cover this up for a bit. All right, let me grab it out again. You know what? I'm just gonna grab, these are right by my speaker, but let me grab out my old ribbon scissors. Had those for years. All right, so let's try this again. I have stuff falling all over the place. I know that looks ugly. Don't worry, it'll get better. All right, again, I'm just gonna feed this through. From the back side. Should have taken off my glasses, my contacts, and put on my glasses. Because like I said, monovision is a real problem when you're working with close-up items. All right. There we go. Let's get this other side. Make sure it's flat on the back. Be careful when you pull, because this is DSP. You don't want to pull too hard and run the risk of ripping your cardstock, because that's exactly what I probably could do right about now. All right, so this is what I really wanted to do in the first place. I wanted to have a double ribbon like that. There you go. All right, let's see how we want this done. I want to leave just a little space between so you can see that it's, I think I'm a little crooked here. So let me lay the card down. Yep, there we go. So there is my little crooked bit. If you wanted to put some regular Scotch tape on the back there, you could. I know my card's all bent. That'll add to the texture though, won't it? Let me see. Let me go ahead and just put a little bit of Stampin' Seal on there. Let's do that. See if it'll even go down since this is so. Maybe that's the one that's not working right. If you remember, I'm out of my refills, so let's see if I can. Nope. It's not working either. Oh, there we go. Just putting a line down there. All right, guys, it usually doesn't take this long. So sorry. So let's go ahead and get that looking straight. This is just not going to be working very good today. You can tell I don't plan things ahead, and I don't. It's one of the things about my videos. You see truly crafting the way it is. All right, that's going to have to do it. Because I also see on my tape dispenser I'm out of tape. Regular Scotch tape. So this will have to be it. I think it's stuck down enough. Let me get out my silicone mat, because this will be sticking to everything now that I have sticky on the back side there. All right, so this is what I wanted to do. We're going to layer here and layer here. So let's do that with the glue. Again, if you were doing this in your own home without that bad layer problem, you would have been finished by now. All right, and let's see, I think I want one there. Probably should have left. I'm just leaving it. Should have left a little bit of an alley, a little bit of a gutter. But we'll just do it the way it is. Yes, I'm concentrating, so I'm not talking. And I'm leaving little holes there, I know, but guess what? That can be where we put our embellishments. Yeah, so it was planned that way all along. Not. I think I'm going to put one more down in the corner here. I know, I said I was only going to put one more down, but you know me, gotta keep going. And this one, I think I'm just going to put straight on to kind of cover up. A little bit of that. All right. What a mess I created. It was supposed to be a simple card, remember? All right, let me get out my sticky scissors. So just remember, I am not a demonstrator who plans and edits her videos so it looks perfect every time. I am a real stamper, and these things happen to stampers. Even if you've been stamping for close to 30 years like myself. It happens. I'm just getting all those little edges that are hanging over. Oh my goodness. All right. Now let's do this again. If I had done it right the first time. Oh, look at that. And that's the thing about basic black cardstock. It's a different consistency than our other cardstock. crooked here. I probably should have used dimensionals since I have the ribbon underneath there. And I probably should have only gone twice with that ribbon. So, yeah, I know you're saying it looks kind of empty up there. I'm leaving it the way it is because you know what? Let's put some embellishments on there. My Lord, I still have to show you the examples I made. All right. Let me grab out my take your pick tool. This is way longer than I wanted it to be. Let's put some in those little areas. And then I'm going to put 3 in a row here. To cover up that empty space there. All right, guys. It wasn't supposed to take this long. It really wasn't. Let me get some of this cleared away here. I have a gluey mess. I'll have to take alcohol wipes to my surface because I have glue all over the place. All right. So here is our card. Now let me show you the inspiration for this card. This is all images are copyrighted by Stampin' Up. Of course, you have that right there. But that was my inspiration for the card. Oops, let me get it so there's not a glare. But I didn't have that thin ribbon. And as you can see, I didn't leave my little spaces there. And maybe it's because I added that extra layer. That caused a little bit of a problem. But that's my card, and I'm sticking with it. All right, so here's that. Let me show you the other 2 cards I made. Here's using that same template. And this was using, they're from the online exclusive, the Alphabet a la Mode dies. So the Christmas is from the die set. Remember, we have the dies, Christmas. So Christmas is from the die set. The Merry is those letters, and I use those same regal foiled back dots on there. All right, and then we have this one where I use the Winter Meadow Designer Series paper. I ran a strip through. This is this die here. This one in the middle is this die here. So, and then there's that big one, and I just did the ribbon underneath as a little extra. And if you wanted to jazz this up, you could run this through an embossing folder beforehand. I just thought I would leave it pretty plain. All right, guys, there you have it. Few more examples using that Peaceful Seasons bundle. Thanks for joining me. Sorry it took so long. And have a great Sunday. Give me a thumbs up if I made you laugh. Even if you didn't like everything, how it happened with this, give me a thumbs up because I made you laugh. All right, guys. Have a great Sunday. Take care. Be safe out there. Bye for now.